this card is the actual card that gets you into those Trimet biking ride. This is it. So
I'm one of the elite now.
Yeah, Max here is one of the 4 people, one of the dozen people actually.
Well, I had my own personal bike garage today.
Yeah, so nobody was at the Sunset Park and Ride but you?
No, it was only 35 degrees outside.
Yeah,
and
nobody.
Saturday night. Yeah, not really a hot spot for people.
Yeah. So how does this thing work? What do you do with that card?
Well, so the funniest thing about this is that now I thought. Essentially the way it works is very simple, right? You stick your card in.
Right, like a credit card.
And then you hit a button, and then it unlocks the door, and you go in, you lock up your bike, right?
Yeah.
And then you have 10 minutes to do your business and then get out.
Okay.
If you leave after 10 minutes, then they call the police or something.
Yeah.
So then you leave, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
And then you come back, you stick your card in, it says, oh, you're going to pick up your bike, and you hit OK, and it unlocks the door, you get your bike, and on the weekend you get charged 1 cent an hour to use it.
1 cent an hour?
Yeah. Right. So I was there, so it cost me 3 cents today. On a weekday.
Well, they charge it? How do you pay that? It's charged to the card?
There's stored value on the card.
Oh, okay. 3 cents.
There's money on the card. So if you lose your card, you're out your money.
Okay.
Now on a weekday, it's 3 cents an hour. It's highway robbery.
Yeah. Yeah, so a work day would be 24 cents to park. 8-hour days, a 24-cent charge.
Yeah. So, but really, I mean, the thing is designed for you to kind of. If you have to leave your bike there, you can leave it there for a week, and it's not really a big deal.
Right, right.
So, but here's the part that was funny about this, that I thought was truly bizarre, right?
Yeah.
Is that they want to make this. The whole point of this thing is to make it much higher security.
Right, right.
So, when I went there to go stick my card in, it said, "Oh, hey, you need to activate this card," and I said, "Oh, the instructions on the screen." And I thought, okay, well, what does that mean? And then it says, you need to have photo ID. And I thought, okay. And then it goes, but you can do it right here. And literally, it dialed this phone number. This operator came on and said, essentially, hold your photo ID next to your face. I mean, there's a camera on the
bike and ride thing?
Yeah. There's a camera right there where you put in your card. And you hold up your ID. And they take a picture of you, and they say, oh, you're Max Campos? Yes, I'm Max Campos,
Yeah.
Okay, well, all right, I've just activated your card, And
really?
You have to do this the first time.
Wow.
And so then
that's amazing.
When you put your...
It's that advanced that they have a...
Well, it's just, like I said, it's the first...
Yeah, I know, but they got a camera that can connect you to an actual...
Yeah. And then, when you park your bike there, you have to label your bike. It has to be labeled for your card. So that, I guess if you leave it there forever or whatever, then they know whose bike it was. Mm-hmm. And so what happens is, now that I have the thing registered, they'll mail me a sticker that I can put on my bike that will have my card number on it.
Yeah.
It's like a 4-digit number. Now, before they mail you the sticker, once you walk into the bike ride, there's basically a piece of tape and a pen, and you write your 4-digit number and you stick it on your bike for a while it's there. Huh. But the rules are pretty, like I said, the rules are pretty rigid. I mean, you have to get in and out within 10 minutes. You're not allowed to bring somebody else. You're not allowed to have somebody else use your card. I mean, it's basically, that's kind of the rules for it.
It's a security thing. They want.
Well, that's what you're paying for.
You're paying for security.
Yeah, that's the difference between parking outside and parking in the bike and ride.
Right.
Is that
they guarantee that bike will not be ripped off.
Well, I don't guarantee crap, but I mean, there's a clear sign that says as soon as you walk in, Trimet's not responsible for anything lost, stolen, But it's in a locked cage essentially.
Right.
There's security cameras there. There's secure access. I mean, they know exactly who went in and out. I mean, every person who went in at some point had to show their ID, So
yeah, right. If they have a card.
Yeah.
So
you can't get in if you don't have a card.
Whoever uses that card, they trace back to you.
I mean, I guess theoretically, Al here could steal it.
Right, and go in, and they're not going to ask me for ID anymore. Because they've already got your ID. So.
Right. Once you do it once, you don't have to have ID anymore.
But you lock your bike up in there anyway. It's still locked. It's not like you're just leaving your bike.
Right.
Oh, my bike is secured.
But I think it's pretty cool. And Sunset, it is kind of does make sense as I mean, I think Beaverton Transit Center would be a much better place.
Yeah, it's much many more people.
But Sunset is a good place because there are a lot of people who don't want to bike over the West Hills.
Mm-hmm.
you know, I mean, that would be one of the key places. I think Beaverton would be a much better first place.
Didn't they go there? Aren't they putting one in
They
Beaverton?
will, yeah, yeah. I think, I mean, it's a good idea. I mean, I wish Trimet wasn't going this direction. I mean, essentially what Trimet has said for bikes is that more bike hooks and more bike spaces and more bringing your bike on board is not the option that they want. That they don't want that.
You're right.
They want instead to use lockers and this idea that you go to some sort of transit center and lock up your bike. But I think this is stupid.
Yeah, because you want your bike on the other end of
the reality is,
where you're going.
I mean, if you think about it, if you want to go, if you're going someplace far, right, Trimet's really good at getting you the long way. The hardest part is that last mile. You know, think about if you're in Beaverton, right? If you could say, well, am I within a mile of a bus stop that's of quality, then that opens up to a lot more people, right?
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
With a bike, a mile's nothing.
Right. So this idea that you're going to lock up your bike and then on the other end not have it,
yeah.
I think this is stupid.
It's absurd, yeah.
Really,
I agree.
what would make much more sense to Trimet is if they invested in allowing more people to bring their bikes on board, because then Trimet has less pressure to provide that last mile on the end of the trip. Does that make sense?
Yes, I understand. If I had a bike, I'd want to use it both when I got on and when I got off to get to the transit and then wherever you're going. I mean, the transit's not going to take you right to your door. You're going to have to either walk or get to your exact location. So the bike makes it fast.
Especially if you think about it, especially if what we're talking about is the last mile. And for the last mile, a bike is perfect for that.
I know that. Exactly.
It's maybe a little far to walk, easy to bike, you know, no big deal. You know, so I think it's a natural pairing.
I do too.
But so what Trimet's policy is, I guess, if you want to use your bike for the last mile, then presumably you're going to have a second bike that you keep in a bike locker or whatever, and that's just not reasonable. You know? I'm gonna ride one bike to the transit center, get on the train, get off the train, and ride my second bike from the train, you know, to my work or whatever, you know, and that's just not going to happen. You know, so.